Hey guys, it's the Plum Dot here, and welcome back to my channel for the fourth and final part of the Deanda Hall renovation. So today we are on the top floor, which includes 3 bedrooms, a gym, a party space, and I also added an extra bathroom because it didn't make sense not to have a bathroom on this level. So here we are in the very first dorm room, and my idea for the type of Sims that I saw in this room were science and medicine majors, and so it's the same major in the same room, so I kind of thought maybe they would be another set of very good friends from high school that wanted to major in the same thing and share a room. And I actually had a lot of trouble laying out this room. It completely changes from what you are seeing it now, because I just couldn't make everything fit in the way that I wanted to. But of course, we've got the little snack bar area that is the most important thing, with the refrigerator and the microwave, because like I said, every room has one of those, because you need your brain food, you need your popcorn when you're studying, you need your energy drinks. Actually, no, scratch that. Energy drinks are bad. Very bad, kids. Don't drink them. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I had in mind for this particular room, but you can see that everything is quite cramped, so I end up moving the bedroom around the bedroom. I moved the beds around a little bit, just to make it seem like there is more space than there actually is. For some reason, I think that these rooms up top are a lot smaller than the ones that are down below, and that's probably just because you've got three dorm rooms up here, including the gym as well, and the landing up here is much bigger than the ones below it. So I think this is the final layout that I go for. So you've got sort of the bedrooms, why do I keep saying that? The beds on one side, and then I did the little trick again with separating one side of the room from the other side of the room with bookcases, and I just really like how that looks. Now, one of the bookcases obviously isn't going to be usable to your Sims, but there is a usable bookcase in this particular room. And then I also gave the Sims that will inhabit this dorm room laptops. So I believe this is actually the only dorm room in the entire dorm that has computers on both desks. But don't quote me on that. You know, it's been 4 parts. It's been quite a long time since I furnished all of this, since I've done the voiceovers. So yeah, but anyway, here I go, doing my thing, cluttering everything up, because I've got to have my clutter. Even though some of you guys might think it is a little bit ridiculous, I have to have my clutter. It just makes me feel really good. And actually, a funny story, well, it's not really funny, but I did go to the forums before I ever started the renovation on Deanda Hall, and I asked, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer dorm rooms decorated with lots of clutter, or dorm rooms that are just sort of neutral and you can go in and you can decorate them to your Sims liking? What do you prefer? And a lot of people said that they like to decorate their own dorm rooms. Well, obviously I didn't want to hear that, because I completely threw that out the window and I just decorated it to the Sims that I had in mind. So yeah, I'm sorry if you're a forum member and you're watching this and you see that I completely disregarded your answer to a question that I asked. Anyway, we've moved on from the science and medicine room, and this is the first of the 2 single dorm rooms. Now, these single dorm rooms are a little bit more, they're not high end, but I would say that you would pay a bit more to have a bedroom in a dorm to yourself. So there's a little bit more customization that goes into these rooms and more things to do, if you will. So this room I had in mind for a phys ed major and somebody who was really into their sports, and I was going to say being outside, but I feel like the person that would have this room, or the Sim that would have this room, could spend hours in their room and not get bored, like just doing pull-ups and things like that. So I bet you guys could guess the social group that I had in mind for this Sim to be in, without too much difficulty. And this is the only room in the entire dorm that has a different television to the rest of the other dorm rooms. So this dorm gets a big sort of flat screen TV. It changes from the small one that you see right now. And I had it in mind that they brought in their own TV. They wanted a big old TV, and they could maybe have some friends over and they could watch the game in their dorm room. And yeah, that was my thought process. But this sim is very much into school spirit, so you're going to see a lot of like school posters around, and they're all about the university life and, you know, going to campus events and maybe being a little bit of a partier, but also very much into working out and physical education and just being physically fit. And I think this is one of the only rooms as well that doesn't have a computer in it, although the next room that we're going to be doing doesn't have a computer in it either. So the two single rooms don't have computers in them, but I put enough things in there for Sims to be able to do things, if that makes sense. But again, if you don't like it, completely get rid of it, do a makeover on it. And if you do a makeover on it, I would love to see what you do. But this is just what I had in mind. This is what I wanted to do, and I hope you guys really, really like it. So I'm just going through and cluttering the hell out of this room, and I don't think there is any custom content in this room. I think it is all EA content. In fact, I'm gonna go as far as to say I don't even think there's any store content in this room. Like I said in the very first part, I tried to keep store content to a minimum, and a lot of what you will see in this dorm room is going to be university stuff, because, you know, it makes sense. It's a dorm room, so why not have all the university stuff that you could possibly have in one room. But you see, like, I pulled out these shirts, the clothes shirts that are on the floor right now. Like, for what purpose? For what purpose? Because it's just decorations. It's not going to do anything. But I have to have my decorations whenever I'm decorating. I just have to clutter it. It's a problem. I need to go to Clutter Anonymous and get some real help. So we are finished with this room. We are on to the next single bedroom, and I have to say that this is my absolute favorite dorm room in this dorm, and you will see momentarily that this is another fine arts major dorm room. And one of the things that I really wish, and you'll see when I place certain items down, I really wish there was like a music major. Was there a music major in Sims 2? I feel like there was a music major in Sims 2, because along with art, there is a lot of musical instruments in this room. Now, if I had to fight for one dorm room in this entire dorm, it would be this room. I just love it. Now, I'm not musically inclined whatsoever, although I wish I was. I wish I could play the guitar. I think that would be so very cool, but I can't. But I feel like if I had this room, I might just never leave it, and I would teach myself how to play the guitar or the piano. Like, I can kind of play the piano, and I did take lessons when I was younger, but I could play things like Happy Birthday and, I don't know, Mary Had a Little Lamb. But then also on my mom's oldest piano that she has, she actually wrote down numbers on the keys, so I think it was like 1 to 9 or something, and then she had a piano book that had all the notes transferred into numbers, so then the corresponding keys and numbers went to the notes, if that makes any sense. So I was basically learning to play piano by numbers. And that's really the only way that I can play piano, although I do know sort of the opening keys to Fur Elise, but that is it. I much prefer my mom's like self-playing piano, because then I can just pretend to play versus actually playing. And another funny story about the self-playing piano that my mom has, I auditioned to be on Wheel of Fortune, and I had my niece come over to my parents' house so that she could film me doing a little sort of intro video to send into Be on Wheel of Fortune. And the opening video that I sent in is actually super embarrassing. And actually, no, I didn't send this video in, but my niece came over and we did about, I don't know, about 100 takes or so. Not even kidding. To the point where my niece was, "Are you done yet? Are you happy with this?" No, I'm not done yet. I'm a perfectionist and this has to be perfect. But anyway, what I did was I sat at my mom's self-playing piano with it playing and making it look like I was actually playing the piano. And then while it was still self-playing, I waved at the camera and introduced myself. This is so embarrassing to tell you guys. But I didn't send that in because I watched the 100 takes back and each one was embarrassing as the last one. So I actually ended up putting my cell phone against a napkin holder in my parents' kitchen and filming an intro that way. So yeah. That is so embarrassing. But anyway, we are almost finished with this artsy dorm room. And in the screenshots, you will also notice that this is the only dorm room that is highly customized, in the fact that the wall behind the bed is going to turn out to be a feature wall. And I just had it in my mind that this very artsy person came in, they kind of looked at the drab walls and they wanted to spice things up a little bit, so they hung some wallpaper or something before the semester, trimester, or it's not a quadmester, what is it called? Semester. You have a semester, a trimester, and a, oh my god, why can't I think of the word? Semester, trimester, quarter. Jesus, I can never get my words right. I always lose some word. Anyway, we have moved on from my favorite dorm room and we are on to the gym and the extra bathroom that I added in, because like I said, it didn't make much sense to not have a bathroom on this level. And so we've got one shower stall, 2 toilet stalls, and then 2 sinks, because this is, as you can see, it's a lot smaller than the other bathrooms. And again, we've got that exposed sort of floorboards, and I really love that flooring. It just looks sort of used and not abused, but it just looks like it's been used and walked over, and I love those floorboards. And I said in the first, or not in the first part, in the last part, that the team that came in to renovate the dorm kind of pulled up the carpets and they found these old floorboards, and that is why these floorboards are different than the floorboards in the rest of the house, if that makes sense. So I've made the gym a little bit smaller than it was, but really, how big does a gym need to be? And do dorms in real life actually have gyms in them? If you guys go to a university and you live in a dorm, does your dorm have a gym in it? I don't know. I can't think of a dorm that I've ever visited that had a gym in it. So, you know, this is a luxury right here. Sims should be grateful that they have their own personal little gym in their dorm. So I'm just going through, again, putting on some signs, some school spirit. You're going to see me pull some school things out in a bit and make it sort of school spirity, I guess. I don't know, but this is definitely not a room that you would find me hanging out in a dorm. I would most likely be in the dining hall, the kitchen, or the study room, because I am and have always been a massive nerd, to the point where when I was a senior in high school, we all had senior skip day, and I was the only senior in my class that went to school. And my teachers weren't very happy with me because they actually had to teach, like, what senior goes to school on senior skip day? Yeah, I'm raising my hand right now because that was me. That's how big of a nerd I was. I loved school, and you know, if I could go back to school, I definitely would. I would go back and get a master's degree in English or history or something like that. But we are almost finished with the gym. I've got the exposed brick because, I don't know, I just wanted to continue the exposed brick, and any excuse to use it, I will find it and I will use it. And then I also kind of meshed that with concrete because I feel like concrete keeps you cool when you're sweating and working out. But I wouldn't personally know that because I don't work out, because I don't know, I prefer to eat. And that's not me saying that people that work out don't eat, because actually I feel like people that constantly work out have to eat more to fuel their body. So basically, the reason why I don't work out and I prefer to eat is because actually I'm a lazy shit. We will go with that. So we are almost finished with the gym, and then we are going to move on to the ultimate party space. So in the very first part, I did the outside of the dorm, and I had the bonfire and sort of a juice keg outside. So you've got your outside party space, but this is where I wanted the ultimate inside parties to take place. So at the moment, you can see that I've got one juice kegger down. I do actually end up throwing another juice kegger down, but there was so much space up here that I just thought it would be sort of the perfect space to host parties. I know that a lot of people host their parties on the lowest level of the dorm, but I just thought, let's move it to the tippy top. Let's take this thing, let's take it high. Let's take it to the top. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just chatting shit at this point. But you can see you've got the pool table and you've got the arcade games, and then there's a couple seating areas, and now I have plonked down a professional bar, which I don't think there would be a professional bar in a dorm room in real life, because how would they check people's ages? And you can't have bartenders going around serving to underage kids, now can you? No, you can't. So, at least we can enact these things in The Sims, and we can put down professional bars and pretend like we have mixologists that will come and serve students, but I don't think that would happen in real life. And anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but yes, this is the top party area. We've got a dance floor, and I'm pretty sure the dance floor stays there with the radio, so you can get jiggy with it. And then you can now see I've got the two juice keggers, and I think we've got two different sets of seating as well as a pool table. So everything is here. It is all groovy, and this is going to be the place where the most epic parties happen, and everybody is going to want to be at Deanda Hall. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just realized something. I completely forgot to put curtains or blinds anywhere. God, talk about customization, and then I forget that. So, if you guys download this, you want to put in some curtains, go for it. But for the sake of not repeating myself, because I'm pretty sure that I have already done that, and to keep myself from rambling, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to love you and leave you guys with some music. Make sure to stick around for the screenshots, because there are a buttload of them. But if you enjoyed this renovation of Deanda Hall, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below, and I guess my final question for this Deanda Hall renovation series is, if you lived in a dorm, where would we most likely find you? You know that you wouldn't find me in the gym, but most likely in the study or the kitchen. I want to know what room we would most likely find you in. And if you guys aren't already subscribed and you like what you see, why don't you go ahead and hit that button. Don't be a plum stranger now, guys. Bye!
There's one downside about living in the center of the UK. It's the highest rate of radiation